believe that in life we make choices based on real facts and that we have freedom when making these choices. But in reality, what is really powerful in making these choices are our emotions, and the emotional intelligence is all I'm talking about in my videos. I'm Dr. Anatoli Gradinarov, the author of the book Revolution of the Mind. We don't like to question ourselves. We don't. Unconsciously, we cannot accept it. That will mean that we might be wrong. Our egos cannot accept it. Being wrong is not an option for our ego. This is why we keep living in our limited mental worlds, in our small psychological worlds of programmed understandings, fears, limited beliefs, prejudices. Unconsciously, we always need to protect our viewpoints. It's the nature of a human. You can basically see it everywhere. Observe yourself when you're arguing with somebody. Your whole posture is changing. Your voice is raising, gets tougher. Your posture is a bit like an animal, ready to fight. This is what we are. We're animals. Although we might think we're something more, but we're mammals. We follow the same unconscious nature of an animal. We follow impulses, instincts for survival. So we will protect our viewpoints unconsciously. We won't look for the truth. We think that in arguments, truth is created. Truth doesn't need us. Truth is there. People thought the earth is flat for many centuries. That didn't make the earth flat. So truth is not born in argument, but in the argument we want to force our truth. We perceive that truth as part of our identity, as part of our virtue, image of the self, of our understandings. Our knowledge cannot be questioned in the same way. Our virtue, image, our ego cannot be questioned. That's a dangerous perception. That's why we have all the excuses and all the blames for our weaknesses. We cannot accept the fact that we are wrong, and this is what it holds us in life. If we can really see it, we can work on it, but we cannot accept it. We see it though, but unconsciously we cannot accept it. For us, it's gonna be way bigger priority to justify our weaknesses, to blame the bad world. You will see how people like instinctively protect themselves. They blame, they have excuses. Even if we're by ourselves, if there is not another person, we have the same. We repeat that self-talk in our mind, telling us what victims we are, justifying our actions, instead to observe the mistakes we make and work on them. So unconsciously we protect our weaknesses because we don't question ourselves. We don't question anything. We don't question our misery. We have the excuses and the blames for our misery, and we are keeping it. We keep the depression, we keep the anxiety, we keep everything within us, simply because we don't question ourselves. We hate anything different than us. We hate changes. But we have the freedom in reality. Outside of that perception, we have the freedom to change absolutely everything in our life in a way that we want. So make the changes part of your mentality, welcome them. Realize that the thinking of, oh no, I don't do the things this way, or I couldn't do it that way because I'm such and such, that doesn't serve you. Simply doesn't work for you. Be like the water. Change your form, be adjustable to the outside world. That's how you can make differences in your life. That's how you can progress. That's our nature, basically. Without these ideas, these programmed ideas, we can be anything. Imagine that you can be born in another family. You can have another beliefs. You can be born in another country. You can be adopted from the people from absolutely different culture, and that is going to create a totally different reality for you. We're changeable. In our nature is changeable. We're adjustable. That's what we are. Skills can be learned, past can be deleted, future can be created in any possible way that could be. But that's a mindset. That's the hard things to do, to go against your own perceptions in order to grow. You're in charge. Now I know that sometimes family members can be too much, old friends can be too much, spouse can be too much. Sometimes these people take you for granted, but you're in charge. Just don't accept that if they make you feel miserable, you have to continue your life this way. You can talk to them. Of course, that's the first step you can make. If nothing changes, you can learn about their moods, and anytime they're in a mood, you can just distance yourself a little bit. Sometimes some of these people can really be toxic in our life. The distance could be, you have the choice again to make bigger distance between you and them. That is your life, my friend. It is your responsibility. No matter what society is telling you about morals and things like that, and the mother and the father, yes, you love them, of course, I'm sure you love them, but if they make you feel miserable, it's your responsibility to find a way to be happy. And that doesn't mean that you have to make conflicts with them. Simply be responsible in front of yourself, not in front of them, for the way you feel. If they make you feel miserable, you have all the excuses to keep distance or something like this. Now, our natural state is to be still. It's the nature of the way that the animal feels when there is no danger. Anytime you feel anything about stillness, you feel sadness, you feel anger, stress, that's going away from that natural feeling of peace. Learn to observe yourself every time you're moving from that state. Now, if your perception is a bit different, if you kind of feel that because it's normal, your perceptions are programmed, to reprogram them is and to change them with the one that feel more pleasant is not that easy. One of the things you can learn is to learn to do nothing. If you're like a person that is stressed the whole time, simply learn yourself to do nothing. Learn to be lazy. Enjoy the laziness. Be fully in the laziness. You're in charge. You're in total charge.